This is the Chazara of Gemara and Eruvin, DAF Lametes. Of course, the learning for Chedishel is sponsored as Chus for Shlim Shan Tevah Bas Esther, as well as Chus in the Nishmas of Esther Ezel Basar Meir. We pick it up from the bottom of Lamechesem and Beis. We just finished discussing whether it's an issue of Achana to create the Eruv, and the Gemara said that it's not an issue. Why is it not an issue? To Azal V'Shasik V'Yasev, you go and you sit quietly. Says the Gemara, Kaman, who does that go? According to Lamechesem and Beis, Ba'il to the bottom. Kaman, Krav Yechon Menuri Damar, Chafsi Avker, Kainim Shvisa. Items of Avker acquire their place of dwelling, therefore, even without saying anything. Says Gemara, no, I feel the Tamer Rabbanan, can be the Rabbanan Adkan, Loplik Rabbanan, Rav Yechon Menuri, Elbi Yashik. Only when you're sleeping, that's when the Rabbanan said it doesn't work, so you have to be able to say it. You don't even have a potential to say it because you're sleeping. But if you're awake, if you wanted, you could have said Afikav Doyamar, Command Amar Dami. If you didn't say it as if you said it, and therefore it's going to be a good Eruv. You have a Shmili Lamara of the Tana. Did you hear the following that which learns in a Bryce? Don't go there in your field to know what you need. And similarly, moving along you should not go and walk out and take a walk at the entrance to the city in order to go to the bathhouse. What do we see? We see it is an issue of Achana. You just told me that to go there, sit down and be quiet. We see you're not allowed to do these things. Would you have been a chayzer without what you said? He says, Gemara, Shamalei actually heard and he still wasn't chayzer. What's the reason? Tremendous role in Achana. It was muchach, it was proven out what he was doing. It's clear what he was doing, so it's forbidden, but if it's not clear, then it is moti. If he's learning, maybe he just got lost in thought, and that's why he walked so far out. He lost his donkey, and that's why he's going to look for it. Kuva says, Gemara, if you're in there on day one with your feet, you can do the same thing on day two. However, because then you're making a new Eruv with bread on the second day, and that which you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to create a new Eruv on Yantif. The same loaf of bread. So we see clearly that you have to take the same piece of bread, you bring it home, you bring it back. For Rabbanan who argue and say you don't have to, it just was good advice that he was saying. Says the Mishra of Yudayim Rosh Hashanah. However, Paul once again, Yari Shamayim Tizaber. Share Yari, not Yari Shamayim. Share Yari Shamayim Tizaber, you're afraid they're about to make it a leap on the Ma'arev Adam Shnei Eruvin, let him make two Eruvin Vaimer. Eruvin Rishon Lemezrach Rishon Lemay Rishon Lemezrach Rishon Lemezrach. Basically, you got to separate each day, says the Tanakama. I should say, says Rav Yehuda, and says you got to say each day independently. One day is east, one day is west, one day yesterday, one day noir. The Chacham did not agree because they held it's all one big kedusha, one big entity. Therefore, you cannot split it in half. Rav Yehuda Mastamal Kakol, you got to make a tanai, a condition on a basket beyond the Rishon Vaychlo B'Sheni. Chaim Be'esh another Rishon Vaychlo B'Sheni. V'loy the Chacham did not admit him. Rav Deis ben Hurkenes Aimer. However, then they have to beyond the Rishon. What do you say? Aimer Chasina Shem Lekino Yom Choresh HaChodesh Hazeh. You say, blessed Hashem, please redeem us if it's today or if it's tomorrow. If it's Rosh Hashanah today or yesterday. But again, the Chum did not admit that you say this condition Chum held. Kula Kedusha Achasi, it's all one large Kedusha. Says Gemara, what does it mean that Chum did not admit him? Rav Yosi, it's Rav Yosi, and I'm going to brace. Ma'adim Chacham Rav Liaz Bar Shana Shei Yari Shem Tizaber Me'arav Adam Shtei Eruvin Amir Rishon Lemizal B'Sheni Ma'ir Rishon Lema'ir B'Sheni Mezrach Rishon B'Sheni K'nei Yiri Hey Ruvei B'Sheni Rishon K'nei Yiri Rav Yosi Aiser. But he says you can't do that. Armin Rav Yosi, he had to do you not in Mishabah Eidim in the Melchel Ma'ir Shaleng was saying that if the Eidim were to come, we would say it. So seemingly it is two separate entities. So as the Gemara move along to Am Testament base, the reason why you can have to observe both days in such a case is because we're afraid that they're going to come to cheapen it. That if in the middle of Rosh Hashanah the Eidim come and say, it's no longer Rosh Hashanah. We're afraid that people are going to come to not accord the appropriate honor to Rosh Hashanah, and that's the reason why. But it's not necessarily approved, say the Chachamim, that is two separate entities of K'chei Kedushas. Rabbi Yehuda says, we needed to list all three cases in the Mishnah. The Ashmin in Rosh Hashanah, if you only list the case number one in Rosh Hashanah, I would have thought about Rabbi Yehuda, Mishnah Dol Kavin Midi. In that case, you didn't do anything. In the case of the basket, the Meslik Metakin Tivla, maybe it looks as if you're being Metakin Tivla because each day you're making Tanai. As we'll see in a moment, if today is Yantif, today is not Yantif. So it looks like you're fixing it. Maybe in that case, he admits the Rabbanah that you're not allowed to do it. I would have thought there's no entity to be geyser on it. But an egg that's born in Yantif. There is a Gezer that you can make because of the case that pears fall off the tree, or because of the case that liquids ooze out of a fruit. There is an item, there is a chafza that you can make also in the Rabbanan. Sricha, therefore, we needed to list all three cases. The Mishnah and all three cases, if you view them as separate entities, you can make it tonight. You can separate Shumal, condition, etc. And all three cases, the Chum disagree. Says Gemara Tanya Ketzad. How do you do it? What is this tonight that Rav Yehuda is talking about? You make it tonight, and day one, you eat on day two. You have two baskets of tavel. You say it's following. If today is weekday, and tomorrow is holy. Today's at Truma Azul, let this act as Truma on this. But if today's Yantif L'machar Chol, I don't want what I said to be anything, because you're not allowed to separate Truma and Yantif. So basically you're saying that if today's Yantif, I did nothing. But if today's mundane, then it should work. For Karav L'Shem, and then you call it a shame, you say this part, Umanicha, you leave it on the side. What do you do the next day? You want me to do the same thing? Today is Monday, today's the Truma Azu. That piece that I separated on the side, that should be the Truma. But if today's Yantiv, I don't want to do anything of shame. And that is the case where Yehuda says that is the condition that you're allowed to make, and thereby you'll effectively somehow circumvent, you should say, a legal loophole in order to be able to separate the Truma and Yantiv and be allowed to eat it. Rav Yesi Aiser says, no, you can't do that. Rav Yesi Aiser, similarly, Rav Yesi says in 2 days of Galis, 2 days outside of Eretz Yisrael, the double Yantif, the Sefeka Diyomer basically says, we do not view each day independently, and therefore you would not be allowed to do that which we just said and make it be mafresh al tonight. Ahubar Tavia does the Beir exclusive. There was a goat that came to Rish exclusive, the Sabi Yantav Rishon, that was trapped on the first day of Yantav Shel Galius. Veishtacha B'Shel Yantav Sheni was shachted on the second day of Yantav. Rav Nachman, Rav Chizda Achlu, they ate the food, they ate the venison. Rav Sheshes Lo Yachal, Rav Sheshes didn't partake. Amar Rav Nachman, says Rav Nachman, Maya Avad later Rav Sheshes Lo Yachal, what should we do with Rav Sheshes that didn't eat B'Sur Tavia? Amar Rav Sheshes, Ve'echei Yachal, what are you talking about? How do you guys eat it? The Tani Isi taught us, Rav Yesi taught us that you're not allowed to eat it. It's all considered one entity. Both days are like one long day, and therefore you're not allowed to eat until after Yantav ends. And some say the following that Isi learns. So how are you eating this food? This food was trapped in day number 1. It was trapped in day number 2. You should not be allowed to eat it until tonight. What are you doing? I'm a Rava, my kusha. What's bothering you? Maybe he was not referring to Rosh Hashanah. That's when Rav Yesi says that it's all viewed as Chada Richta Kedusha Achasi. But maybe in a regular Yantif, Rav Yesi would not say such a thing, and therefore you could eat the food. He says, Galius. Why does he say Shem Tam Shal Galius? Connoting outside of Eretz Yisrael. Begoylam, he should have said Begoylam, meaning just outside of Yerushalayim. Amar, I've asked you, my kusha, what's your question? This is what he's saying. Rav Yesi, Iser Shem Tam Shal Galius, Kishnei of Tam Shal Shoshana, L'Rabbanan Deshari. That's what Rav Yesi meant. Rav Yesi meant that he made the 2 days like the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, like the Rabbanan who admitted it, who permitted it, meaning that he's being Mekel, even though he said it's Aser, he's just talking back to the Rabbanan. If that sounds a little bit like a Deichik, we'd rather to be a Deichik than Rav Yesi to make no sense. We'll pick it up from here in the next Chazara.